I see you, Michelle. All right, we are live. Michelle's ready. All right, give me a second. All right, hi everyone. I am Michelle Wedderburn. I am the founder of Casa Elm Boutique
Gotta
Guest
go
House.
closers contract.
Oh wait, I'm getting a feedback. One second. Here in San Miguel de Allende. I have been here for about 6 years, and these lovely ladies are here tonight to talk about their experiences at Casa Elm 2 weeks ago. I can't believe it's been about 2 weeks. These are the amazing influencers that came through to experience what it is to stay in Casa Elm, but in addition to that, to come together and bond where we really bonded and also to just kind of uplift each other. So I'm very grateful to all of you for taking time out of your own busy lives, schedules, everything to come through for a few days. Those who traveled to San Miguel to experience this with us and just everything that kind of came out of it. And now here we are to talk about it, but also we just set a meeting for us to continue the relationship. And it was just very special in so many ways. I think initially we came into this to support, but not necessarily knowing we were going to leave with kind of a more longer term relationship and connection. So I'm super grateful for all of that. I am all about it. I am all about uplifting and creating community and really supporting our sisters in this journey called life and entrepreneurship and all those things that are above. So I just want to say welcome to everyone. Welcome to my audience. If you have not been here before, please hit the like, subscribe. And if you have and you're already subscribed, don't forget to hit the like button. We appreciate you. And if you're watching the replay, let us know in the chat and comments. And for anyone who is live in the comments, I'll welcome you in a second. Please feel free to ask questions and talk more. We're going to talk about our weekend in general, but feel free to ask questions and we'll try our best to answer those questions. So tonight's format will be just kind of like a general conversation. We'll go around and let each of our influencers to have the opportunity to introduce themselves. And I'm going to start with Diva because you are on my top left on my screen.
Hey everyone, I am Diva Green. I am the CEO and founder of I Got Your Black. I am one of the people that had an amazing time at Casa Elm. Cannot wait to get back. The home, everything. I've been sipping tea ever since. Y'all will learn about that later, but my platform is all about helping people explore various cultures in a really thoughtful and respectful way. I use travel as a medium to connect the diaspora, showcasing how we're unique, how we are similar, and just all of the beautiful threads that make up this beautiful mosaic that is the African diaspora. And so, that's my thing. That's what I do. And I'm super excited to be here and just do what this.
Excellent. Excellent. If you could let everyone know where they can find you. I know it's I Got Your Black on IG, but are there other places
Yeah,
that you can find you?
TikTok, TikTok and Instagram. Those are my
Okay.
platforms. You can find me
Okay.
at I Got Your Black.
Okay. Check her out if you haven't heard of Diva Green. Her work is beautiful. It's amazing. I love the sensitivity that you put into each of your videos and the awareness that you create. And thanks for drinking out of that beautiful mug.
I love mug. I wasn't joking. This is a whole thing in my house now. Like it's another cup that my partner can't touch.
Hands off. All right, thank you for that. We'll move on to Tracy Collins. Tell us about yourself.
Hey everyone, thank you so much, Michelle, for having me again. The experience at Casa Elm and the Influencer Weekend was, I didn't go in with any expectations and came out with my cup overflowing, just to kind of like let you guys know how well the intention was set with Michelle and Michelle. So my name is Tracy Collins. You can find me everywhere on Tracy Collins. And I recently sold my company. So I actually specialize in helping individuals either scale up or scale out of their businesses and in life. I think it's important to empower the pivot. A lot of times people don't understand what that means. So I help people with building their business infrastructure and business strategy. And I'm also an author, as you see my face behind there. But yeah, so that's what, and I do. I live right here in San Miguel de Allende, and I was so honored to be asked. I was like, oh, me? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so thank you so much, Michelle.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was an honor to have you. I know we just recently met, and I just love what you've done and the things you've accomplished, and just kind of what you're continuing to do. I hadn't followed you before because I didn't know you before, but since I met you, I just feel like you're such a great spirit, a great inspiration. I love that you are here and very supportive of women that are trying to grow their businesses and things like that. And this woman's on the move. So just want to ask you to bring your book forward so we
Oh,
can
right,
see
my
it, because I can
you
see
know
it, but
what?
is it not
I always
movable?
forget.
Okay, don't
So
forget.
this is the tester copy that Amazon sends, but it's my face on the cover.
What's
So if
the
you
title?
purchase the book, and thank you to people who actually purchase the book. I always get surprised. People send me pictures of them holding the book, but it's Special Delivery is the title.
Okay.
And it's my story from start to up until almost present day of when
Wow.
I launched my company, which, there were a lot of major partnerships that were formed, Walmart being one of them. So, and I
I
recently.
love it. I love it. Excellent. And she's a resident of SMA. And yeah, just moving and shaking. So just want to say that. Thank you so much. And I'm grateful that you were part of our weekend. It was a blessing. All of you. And next we have my very good friend that can't believe it's going on 3 years that you and I have been just like trying to get our everything, business, all our stuff. I started with Vanessa back in 2021 as actually our first meetup was a meetup in Querétaro. It was during like the height of COVID. We went to a place we couldn't even order drinks because it was like on the weekends they weren't allowing people to drink. Not really, yeah, I didn't really kind of understand that. But anyway, since then, she told me about her business as a business strategist and so on and so forth. I did her classes, I did her coaching. And, it's just incredible to see how much we've grown in this space, not just as business owners, but as friends. So I really appreciate you so much. So I'll let you introduce yourself. And you all have seen us probably many a times, but yes, never get enough.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I love you so much.
I
Thank you,
love you
everyone.
too.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Jacquemin, the CEO and founder of Jacquemin Co-Brand Advisors. We are a business consulting firm that acts as strategic partners to new entrepreneurs who want to step into the online space and established businesses who want to maximize their potential. I'm a certified online business manager. So we have different programs, whether it's you have a new business idea. So you want to do our business idea clarity session so you can get clear on what business you want to launch. Or if you're an established business that really wants to hit the reset button and need a business assessment, for example. And we really focus on the foundations of online business. So another program is our company DNA program. So that's really focused on the branding and content marketing foundations for your business. I live in Querétaro. I've been here for 3 years. I love it. I'm very close to San Miguel, and I'm super appreciative to have been part of this influencer weekend.
Absolutely. Vanessa's fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I just want to go right into Yvonne McBride. So I just want to say that Yvonne wrote the very first piece in Travel Noir about Casa Elm, also 2 years ago. Time flies. And I remember just thinking like, wow, like I just got out here, I just arrived, I just opened the doors. And, she and I met a few months prior. She got to see Casa Elm when it was really without furniture and just a whole lot of, energy with me running around. We did some shopping together. And it was just really beautiful to see her have faith also in my project and write about me, which really, to me, helped put me out there in so many ways, in the way of me getting over the hump of being exposed and being nervous, and also in the way of just kind of, letting people know, hey, here we are in San Miguel, and it's official. So it was really a nice experience to have you have faith in this. So she is a writer, and I'll let her introduce herself. And I want to say thank you again for that initial piece.
Girl, no problem. It was my pleasure. Hello, everyone. I am Yvonne McBride of Yvonne McBride Lit Life. I am a literary artist as well as a travel curator. I write and share stories about women and people in my communities in the diaspora. And I was not only honored that Michelle asked me again because she asked me last year and I could not make it. So, she thought about me again. I was so honored, but also like when we got to the space, like Tracy said, I didn't have any expectations, but it was overwhelming. And I believe that it was my time to be there. This time around, it was such a spiritual, like soulful experience. And I think I can say that for all of us. It was just a lot of magic, like a lot of divine energy in that space. And when the first time I walked in with Michelle, when it was before it was rehab, before she had furniture, like when the first time I walked in, I felt it. And that's part of the reason why I chose. I said, okay, we're gonna write about it. This is gonna be my first piece. So I'm honored again that she and Michelle asked me to come back this year, and you'll get to know what happened, the magic that happened as we go on this evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was absolutely a pleasure to have you here. We talked about it, and I was just like, you are welcome to come for a weekend or week or whatever it is, because I really super, just was so appreciative about the fact that you took a chance to write about me. I was new. I wasn't even really open that long. So it was just a beautiful thing. So I appreciate that. And moving on to Michelle Watson, who I just absolutely love everything about what you're doing. I am happy that, we have worked together now in this particular event twice as our sponsor. It's not just about an exchange of one thing for the other. I really appreciate your support, part one. I really love your products. And I think everyone that, yes, okay, we should all have a bag. But I just want to say that, you're bringing so much education to, I just have to say, you have your tea game on, period. Like, if you don't know about tea, you need to learn about tea from Michelle. And I just have to say, like, I was never a heavy tea drinker, and I have all of her teas here at Casa Elm. She is our official tea sponsor, and her stuff is just so good. It's so clean. The way she presents it, her passion, her love, and having you here again this year, it was like I learned even more, right? We just have like the whole tutorial experience, and I feel like that was really the opening of our hearts that day to, just sit and start this whole like vibe that we had. I really do believe that. And so without further ado, I've had you on before, our event. Michelle sponsored our weekend. Again, she came with her friend Shirley, and Shirley was great. Thank you, Shirley, if you're watching. And she just went through, her thing, and she's just such an enlightening person and passionate about her brand. So If you all are not tea drinkers, please follow her. Please find her page. She's going to tell you all about it. And be sure you support. She ships in anywhere in the United States. And I'll let her talk more about her brand. And thank you again. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, Michelle, and thank you. And as Michelle said, I'm the founder and CEO of Ingenuity Gourmet Tea and Spice Company, which produces affordable, premium organic teas that provide our customers with a nutrient-rich, low-calorie, low-caffeine beverage option. And our line of teas, which are very expansive, covering all tea types to include herbals, really help put our customers on the path towards a healthier lifestyle so that they can feel more fit and energized. And I love tea.
What else, Michelle? Okay, I have to say this because I sent you a mini video testimonial yesterday. So she gave us one of her collections, and in the collection was a tea called Harvest Moon. And my son opened it. I don't remember all of the ingredients, so you can fill in the blanks. But he opened it and he literally came to me, and it was after he drank it. And he was just like, Mom, that Harvest Moon was so good. It was so delicious. He was just like, where did you get that from? Or when did we get it? Because we, it's not with our other teas. And I said, oh, that's a part of the collection Michelle gave us. And he was just like, oh my God, it was so delicious. So we made a little mini video yesterday because I then tried it and it's just incredible. I just wanted to say that even my 11-year-old is impressed. Yeah.
Let me tell you about your 11-year-old. His palate is so sophisticated. Mr. Micah, I don't know. I'm going to have to see his birth certificate. I'm not buying 11.
I know he's an old man, but he loved it. He absolutely loved it. He talked about it for a few minutes and then he went back to it. So yes, if you want to send a bag of Harvest Moon, go for it. Delicious. Okay, Angel. Yes, Angel Aviles, what can I say about your just amazing spirit, just all of the wisdom you also brought to the group, and the direction you helped us go in terms of manifesting and uplifting, and your words of encouragement for all of us who needed to hear these things. And really and truly, I don't know how much we cried, but we cried a lot, right? And it was just so beautiful. And I thank you for being just a light. I love hanging out with you. I love speaking to you. I've interviewed you. So I'm going to let you take over. Angel Aviles, she and I had a conversation quite a few months ago. And she also joined us for our weekend. And I just love you. I think you're fantastic. So go for it.
Well, I love you. And now I love every single woman on this call today as well. And I'm so honored again that you curated this group of powerful, incredibly wonderful, talented, brilliant, vulnerable, and giving women. I, like everyone else, walked in with no real expectations. You asked me to do something, and of course I'm going to do it, right? So for those of you who don't have a history, my name is Angel Aviles, like Michelle said, and I've been I guess an influencer for a long time because my influencing started in the 90s, right? I was in a pretty iconic role of sad girl in the gang classic Mi Vida Loca. And like my influence started, I guess, then, even though I didn't really know it. And I fully realized it probably about 10 years ago when the internet came. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's people with tattoos of sad girl on their body. Like it was pretty wild and surreal. I say all that to say that I get asked to do a lot of things all the time, as I'm sure so many of us do, right? We're constantly asked as influencers, just as people. I know I have awesome energy. I've cultivated this. I've grown it. I've protected it. I've loved myself out of so many dark moments. So I know what I have. I know what I'm holding on to. And a lot of people get wind of it and they want it too. But of course, you have to be really prudent in your choices of who you spend your energy with. So of course, you're one of those people that I can't say no to. And I was in San Miguel. I do quite a bit of traveling. I live here as well, along with Tracy. And I was going to be here, and I was like, absolutely. And you made everything possible for us to make it happen. And without even having the expectation of it really having such a deep and profound impact on me and my soul, I'm a person who, when I show up, I'm a manifestation coach, right? I help other people blow through their own spiritual, emotional obstacles. I'm helping them to shatter limited beliefs. I do the work. I've done the work for myself, and I've helped probably now thousands of women do the work as well. So when I walk into a space and I'm given that same energy back, like right back at you, Queen, I got you. And I'm here meeting that energy with that. It was like mind blowing. Such a privilege and a pleasure to be amongst people. And I don't say this like in any kind of way. I mean, people gonna look at me no matter what in some kind of way, but I don't say this like to meet a person, a woman with the same energy is like, you can only celebrate, right? And so it was truly a weekend of celebration, of love, of vulnerability. Like that's another thing, like that's another sign of complete badassery. I think so many people could look at each and every one of us and go, oh, that's unapproachable. Like she's, right. My whole life I've been told like, oh, you got resting bitch face. And I didn't ask for that. Just the way, I grew up this way my face looks. So to have grown up in that but still come into this warmth where there was literally no need for walls and complete honesty, complete vulnerability, complete openness, it like really, really allows for this infinite space of creativity. And that's what I love. I can only echo the words of the women who have gone before me. Like it was magical, it was spiritual, it was inspirational, it was so many things, and I definitely left full.
Awesome. I appreciate you all so much. Like,
Okay, before we go on, I want to say something.
Wait. Go ahead. Put the church lady
Before we
finger
go on,
up.
I want to say, when I met Angel, okay, I come in the room, I'm walking in the room, and she greeted me with, oh, flowing goddess. And I'm like, it kind of took me aback. I didn't know how to take it. I'm like, I stuttered a little bit. And Tracy was in the room, and I'm just looking around like, okay, I'll accept it. But just that example of someone who you never known, right? Who's just looking at you, accepting you for whatever energy you're giving. And it's like a mirror, like kindred spirits. It was immediate. Rashida, if you're watching, I got my hug. And it was like, you've known this person before. Everything from that moment with everyone was just natural. It was organic. It was nothing. There was no awkward moments. It was just like we had known each other before. And I had a moment with everyone on here during that weekend. It's unexplainable. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely more than I also expected. I know I've had many of magical moments in this space. I am always grateful for them. When everyone checks out, leaves, the whole nine, I sit on my sofa and I just absorb the goodness in my life and the goodness that people bring and come into the space, maybe not knowing, not expecting, or whatever. And I just love that really and truly all of you and anyone that's been here before, anyone that's coming, trusted in this process. I don't take that lightly. I don't take it as, okay, well, we had food and drinks and we're hanging out. No, it's like I really do take this process to be more. I didn't know our roundtable experience was going to be so dynamic, but I can tell you that from like the bottom of my everything being, I really thought that this was essential for us to do, to have. I didn't want it to feel like a taking situation. And so it was just lovely. And I think that we all maybe didn't come in expecting what came out of it, but I do think that we all appreciated, loved it, needed it, right? And as several of you said, just the space to be vulnerable. I know with us as business owners, a lot of times, you know, if you're not quite there, right, or you haven't quite gotten there, you do feel vulnerable, right? You feel sometimes like, what am I doing? I've used this terminology that for myself, sometimes I'm tunnel vision because I'm busy. It's not because I don't want to expand and look around to see, you know, what other things can I do, collaborate with whom, etc. But the intention for good exists in almost everything that I do. And if I'm able to uplift in any way, then that's the space that we thrive in right here. And you all are always welcome. So I'm just grateful to each of you. I'm super grateful to the fact that we're going to keep this rolling. I really, really am. So I'll let Diva tell us a little bit about her experience here at Casa Elm, but also San Miguel, because this was your first time in San Miguel.
Yeah, I think like I would just say home. I think that's an interesting choice of words because I wasn't home. I live in Playa del Carmen and I flew to be there. But the moment I walked in, it was like just a hug. And I was writing something that I want to post about just being at Casa Elm. And like, you know how in your family's home, the kitchen is like the space where folk get together and chat. I remember the mornings where you and Yvonne were just like chatting in the kitchen. I'd come down and make myself some tea. It just felt like I was in my casa. And hence, I mean, I guess hence the name, but overall, I would describe the weekend as divine and just what I needed. I started off this year, to be quite honest, like wanting to like hit the ground running and do the things. This is gonna be my year, but feeling a little bit like, okay, I need God to just throw me something, give me something to help me like light this fire. And going to Casa Elm was the ignition that I needed. It was literally what I needed to kind of fuel me. And now my cup is, like Tracy said, literally runneth over at this point. And I feel like I'm just able to create more. Like I'm somebody that I'll post like maybe 2 videos a week, maybe a video in a month. Like I could space out, but I've been just going because I'm inspired. I walked away with a mentor, and we can talk all about that. But I feel like I walked away with examples in each and every one of you women, and even amazing opportunities that I won't get to share on this call, but folks will get to learn about later. And it just feels super aligned, and then divine is the way I'll describe it. And then also,
Awesome.
I'll just back up. Casa Elm just feels amazing. Like there were mornings where I was just like, first of all, I called the night before to see if I could cancel my flight because I was like, okay, I need to stay here longer. Like this needs to be a thing. But what it is that I'm just going to come back, hopefully with my mom or with my boyfriend Jamar. But I know that I need to go back. I need to be at Casa Elm, enjoy like the brickwork ceilings and just all of the intention that goes into your hosting style and into the home.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Yeah, you put a lot of love, all of you, a lot of love and care into your recent posts and videos. I want to say thank you for that. I really, really, really appreciate it. I'm just trying to keep up. So I'm very, very grateful. And I love to see it from each person's perspective as well. You know, just kind of like even down to the music that was chosen, it just set like this vibe that made me realize, okay, you know what? That's how people see this. And I really appreciate that so much. I know it's work. We're all busy. So I just wanted to say thank you to each of you for all of the things that you shared so far on your platform. I appreciate it. Tracy, do you want to talk about I know you all are doing some work together, Diva and Tracy and Michelle.
Yeah, that's so funny. Every time Diva speaks, you guys, I have such an adoration for her. Always have. It's
Yes.
really organic um, for us. But I'm gonna kind of start with Michelle Casa Elm. Casa Elm for me was the hug that I didn't know that I needed. For me, coming from such a leadership space, I'm always like, okay, what do I need to do next? And what's my next level of impact? And like I said, in selling my company and having such a huge legacy behind me that I created that still lives on without me, which it was the intention for that. It was like, what do I do? Just kind of finding your footing, finding your balance, not trying to identify myself with any position just outside of being Tracy. And so being invited, first of all, it was like, thank you for seeing me and for not really at that moment, up until that moment, having very limited interaction, Michelle and I, you saw me well enough to invite me as an influencer, and I so appreciate that. But then you get there and it's like, wait a minute, this space. So if you understand energy, if you really understand what it takes to create energy in homes and being very intentional about it, because I do it myself, it was like, no, she has done some work in this home. It's not only aesthetically pleasing, but when we speaking from a spiritual aspect, from an energy aspect, from an ease, and then also rest, it's embedded throughout each and every room, each and all of the spaces. So you can feel the intention. I think I kept using that word over the weekend too, that Michelle has put into the space. So, and ever since then, I feel like I talk to Michelle every day, every other day.
That's true.
And
We
I just
have.
called her literally, we just had a catastrophe happen. I'm like, Michelle. And so she was like right on it, you guys. So we saw each other yesterday, just in coincidence. And so just the relationship there that has been birthed. I'm just so appreciative for. And the food, we didn't even talk about the food, y'all, but let me just, Michelle can cook her ass off.
I
Like for
love
real. And I'm
cooking.
a big foodie. I'm like, girl. But I
I had to
appreciate
request the oxtails. I requested the oxtails.
That's true.
you
We
know,
did both.
I
We did
could
curry
child
and
Yvonne
regular.
has her own personality that we just laugh about still to this day. The church finger, the twisting of the hair. I mean, it
Wait,
was just
eating
a
and
day.
looking with a full mouth of food and a smile on her face.
We just had to we just said Yvonne's just gonna be Yvonne. Just let her. But as you guys can hopefully tell, just the energy and the synergy was really just impactful to us. And for me, it was really important to be able to be hugged in that regard because I'm always the one doing the hugging when it comes to women and women of color and cultivating wellness. So I so appreciated that. And Diva being my little sister slash now mentee was a welcome, heartwarming invitation to be asked. And there's just history with her because when we were in the process of our scouting trip, she welcomed us into her home and we were in Playa and she just met me like 10 minutes ago. And, she's told me given me further context since then, but it just kind of goes to show that there was a lot of alignment that universe already knew needed to take place that for us started a year and a half before. And yes, Michelle of Ingenuity, I just sent her a message literally. I was like, oh, let me tell her before Michelle says something. But we are in the process of opening a guest house in Centro in SMA. And it just came to me. It's like, I'm not a tea drinker. I kept saying that throughout the entire weekend. But like we brought the teas home. First of all, I was drinking tea the entire weekend. I'm like, why do I keep end up peeing so much? So now I'm in the bathroom. I'm buzzing
That's
at
true.
Michelle for these teas, but they're so delicious and they're so clean tasting. And I brought some home to Honey. And then our daughter, who's 19, 20, she was like, oh, she just keeps drinking. I said, okay, I need to make her tea the official tea of Casa de Centro, which I guess is going to be the name of our house.
Yes.
And because I want that same kind of organic feeling. And it really starts in the details. And so, and Michelle was like, both Michelles were so excited that I had
Yes.
made that decision. So I'm excited
Yes.
to, of course, support another Black woman. I understand entrepreneurship through and through, and I appreciate good collaboration.
Absolutely. I was smiling from ear to ear when you told me that. And yes, I'm just happy for you, Michelle. And I want to tell and say this. We said it before, we talked about it, we celebrated that weekend. Her 1 year anniversary was January 15th of 2024 this year. She actually launched last year, January 15th, 2023 in Casa Elm. And she, kicked butt this first year, and she's going into her second year. She has a lot of great things happening. So I just wanted to acknowledge that again in this setting. So thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. And Tracy, yeah, when I received that message, I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. Could not
Yes.
believe it. So firstly, I mean, congratulations to you, right, for your guest house. So congratulations to you. And, you saying that, Tracy, in this forum, as we're here to thank Michelle for opening up Casa Elm to us, really shows what Michelle Wedderburn is about, right? No, well, you can't do this because I already have a guest house, or no, you
Oh,
can't
no.
interact with Ingenuity because I'm already interacting with Ingenuity. I mean, she was more excited than I was, right? So that goes to show, and it kind of highlights what all the ladies have said already about Michelle herself and what she offered that weekend. So, and as for me, being a sponsor, I've sponsored other things in my 1 year of operation, and it's usually like, all right, send a check here or deliver X amount of teas there, and no one wants to hear from me. I don't get the microphone, that type of thing. But Michelle from day one was like, oh, and you're coming. Oh, I want you to stand before my invitees and introduce yourself, your teas, your company, what it's about. And so, and then to invite me back the second year, truly was a blessing. And then to invite me to the business roundtable after the fact. I mean, listen, I was there with notes, all right. And so, again, as someone who sponsors events, what you've done for me, Michelle, in this past year has been a blessing. No other word for it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You deserve it. I think, again, in the spirit of uplifting, it's important for us not to try to hoard space, because we're all coming with our own specialty, pun intended. And, I feel like it's a big wide world. There's lots to go around, and a lot of blessings when you bless other people with space, time, conversation, encouragement. We all have our things, right? But in the end, I think that it's important to uplift as opposed to try to be the crab in the bucket. I don't subscribe to that at all. So I love your brand. I love what you're doing, and I would love to see your brand in many places in San Miguel. The more the merrier for you. So it's like work
Speak
on
it into
that.
existence, Michelle. Speak it into
Yes,
existence.
yes, yes, yes.
Actually, my business strategist is Vanessa Jacquemont. So talk to
Yes.
her after this.
Yes, for sure. So before we go on, I want to say, like a list of people, I'm going to just say welcome to everyone. I'm sorry I haven't individually welcomed you to the conversation. I appreciate you all coming in to support, and all the folks that have already been to Casa Elm, like Kathy Hampton, I love you. I miss your laughter. Karen Sparks, who was here recently in December with her husband, Dawn Cole, everyone on the list, thank you so much. Yes, you can order Michelle's tea. Can you please drop your website in the chat? Do you have access to the chat,
I do have
Michelle?
access to the chat. I'll try to
Okay.
hit the website. Sometimes, YouTube takes it away because they don't like the .com, but I'll try.
Okay, well, if you don't put it www.com, just put the name, and then you all, we're updated, I think. Add the .com, you guys, okay? Welcome to Dixie, Jessica. Hi, Jessica. Jessica's all from our group too with Vanessa. So I wanted to let Yvonne, I think you kind of jumped in. I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to talk about in regard to our roundtable.
Yes. Actually, to thank you again, but it's something about your spirit, Michelle, that you were able to choose the right people, right? It was the alignment and the symmetry of everything, and all the women who came. Like, who knew I would have a connection with Vanessa for our love of music, right? Our love of jazz. Diva. She's like, I'm gonna call her my little sister, but she's my
Me
younger sister.
too. She is.
We were the housemates in Casa Elm throughout the weekend, and it was just getting to know her. We went to the winery, the vineyard.
Best time.
We had the best time. Just not, and it's not even networking. It didn't feel like networking. It felt like just getting to know, new friends, and people breathing life into you, right? And just the selection of guests that you somehow knew to bring together, with women from each, different stages of their careers, to share and support our struggles, right, through everything, to give advice on how to get through this, get advice of how to do that. Like, when you invited me, I'm like, I'm not an influencer. I'm a writer. I don't have a huge media. I can't do it. I can't do it all. But since then, they gave me advice. I did my first, video. It's not edited yet. But I did my first video, and just advice on how to get through stages of things, if that's what you want. It was, I've had, girlfriend circles, I still have them throughout my life, but it's, it's another circle, and you just never know, when you're invited to something. The catchphrase of the weekend was show up. Like, all you have to do sometimes is show up, and the universe answers. So that's all I have to share.
If I could just chime in there, and just piggyback onto what you were saying a little bit earlier about just celebrating two things, actually. So celebrating anniversaries. I know Michelle Watson just celebrated an anniversary with Ingenuity, and so did Casa Elm on the 28th, no?
Yes,
So
yes.
we got to
Yes.
celebrate both of
Thank
those.
you. 2 years.
That's
Thank
huge.
you. Thank you. I'm like Tracy. It's not that I forget. I'm just so like zoned into everything everyone else is saying. But yes, I officially opened, to kind of the first lifestyle experience of, relocating to San Miguel. Here's how you do it the right way, trying to connect my very, small group of women to the local community, helping them through the process of their interest to live in Mexico. And I can say that from that day till now, I feel so blessed because those 3 women really set the tone as well. They were a part of this. Even before them, I had one person, and it wasn't official, and I think I shared this with you for those who may or may not know Shan. She lives here. And I remember she contacted me and she's like, hey, I already have a place in San Miguel, but it's like, I have no furniture. Can I stay with you? And I was like, no, it's not ready. The space is in. She's like, I don't care, just let me come and whatever. And anyway, I said, okay, no problem. And she came, and I remember she just jumped in and she was just like, I know how to sew. Your curtains are too long. I can fix these, So from that first thing to the group that came, Pat, Pilar, and Francis. I think Francis is on here. It was just magic. I remember feeling like a high while they were here and when they left, and just to see them bonding in the sisterhood, and then just feeling like, wow, they're entering into another phase where they can see life better than where they came from. I realized that I had to start asking the space to speak to me. What do you want me to do? what is my purpose? And I've said it since, I still say it. Even prior to when my dad was alive, I remember I called him and I was so proud to show him the space, and he prayed, and I sat in a corner. I didn't even have furniture in the living room. And I remember sitting in a chair, like a dining chair or something, and he prayed over the space. And I remember it feeling so like righteous and spiritual and deep. And I thought, okay, I'm just having faith in this journey. And I'm just grateful. Here I am 2 years later. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for creating this space for so many people. I actually just wanted to say one more thing and then I'll pass the mic. Michelle Watson, I know you said also that you aren't used to like being in the facing portion of things, like, the sponsorship, but your story and the way that you tell your story about the tea is the reason why I've been drinking tea since we left 2 weeks ago. I don't know if I said this when I first got there, but I've been trying to backpedal from coffee a little bit. I drink it way too much and it'd be having me like this, like just the shake is bad. I love coffee for the flavor, and the energy, but I was trying to find something to replace it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try cacao, try matcha. It tastes like grass. Sometimes grass is okay, but like it wasn't my thing. I've drank tea every day, and my coffee spot down the block that usually sees me at least 3 times a week, I haven't seen them since I got back. And that's just how amazing that tea is. That Earl Grey tea is my favorite. And on weekends, I had the Caribbean Dream, the Tropical Dreams one. Like it's a whole thing. So thank you for just like sharing your passion for the tea, because that's what made me be like, ooh, okay, I'm a believer. Like it's really amazing. So please keep sharing it that way.
Thank you for that feedback, because Vanessa actually always tells me, to tell my story more, right? And so I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, listen to Vanessa. She knows.
That's right. I mean, I think the story itself is so moving, it goes back for a few generations. So, I just hope you feel uplifted by it and get in front of the camera, Michelle, and talk more about it.
Listen, once Angel told me I was decolonizing tea, I was sold.
That's true. That's right. We had some really good phrases that came out of that weekend, right? And this is a good segue. Angel's turn. Can you hear us?
Yeah, okay. I would say definitely also agree with all the women who, have nothing but positivity behind Ingenuity. Like it's otherworldly, like, and just like Tracy explained, like the layers of sophistication that it takes to create an intentional environment, and that you chose this particular tea. Like, yes, it goes back a couple of generations in Michelle's family, but tea as a concept is ancient. And I felt like we were part of a ritual. And the way this tea presents itself is that you can turn every day into a ceremony, and that ceremony is to celebrate you. And I feel like so many of us really, really need that. I mean, for those of us who really get to live in this glorious city, every day we wake up here, it is a celebration of like, damn, I did the damn thing. Thank you.
Yes.
But in this cup, wherever you are in the world, you get to have that feeling like I'm doing the thing. Sometimes I think we get so future centric that we skip over where we are today. And this was like a ceremonial way to acknowledge. It was reverent when you hear Michelle share how the people painstakingly pick these teas and how each plant is revered. It brings to everything a simple cup of tea to a spiritual nature. You begin to understand why this is a cross-cultural experience. It's not a trip to the supermarket, where we as, Americans primarily have taken that trip to the supermarket and completely devalued the idea of nurturing and nourishing our body, mind, and spirit by what we consume. And in a simple cup of tea, you can actually do that and it doesn't have to be super complicated, but it's special. And I really, really appreciate it. We shared, like I got to share that my grandmother was actually from Venezuela, and she spent 7 years of her life in Trinidad working on a plantation. And she also, because of the West Indian influence, which was influenced by the English as opposed to Puerto Rican colonization, which is Spanish and Mexican, and like, of course, all of all of Spanish speaking Americas. But the British colonization brought tea. And so my grandmother left Venezuela, where she would have drunk coffee had she grown up into her adult years. But because she spent her adolescence drinking tea in Trinidad, she came to the US with this love of tea, the same thing. So I felt like it was just this woven story that we can all so easily connect to, because at the end of the day, it comes back to like our connection to the earth.
True.
And what that means, and how you can't always go out and take off your shoes and put your feet on the ground and ground yourself, but you can pour some hot water in a cup and you can make that morning sacred.
Amen. Amen to that.
Can I piggyback off of that really quick?
Sure.
Not to take up too much time, because I know we got to get to Vanessa. But because I come from a wellness space, and having worked with, you guys heard me say vaginas for my entire adult life, and I specialize literally in life and wellness when it comes to women, the healing modalities of the tea itself is what I really appreciated. It embodies wellness, and people don't understand what we put in our. I have a disdain now for the grocery store. Like, getting me to go to the grocery store is like pulling teeth, and it's really amplified since being here in Mexico. Off of what Angel just said. So knowing the process that Michelle shared, and the history of tea. And for somebody like myself who is not really into tea drinking, it gave me a deeper appreciation of hers specifically, and the wellness, and ways to incorporate how we nourish and heal our bodies. So just to give a little bit more, like, it's not only for the palate, it's for our system as well.
Yes, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think just in the past 6 months or so, well, the past year, from your first tutorial here at Casa Elm, and really the explanation and the differences between the kind of more commercial, I don't know the exact terminology you use, but the more commercial teas that we get in the grocery store in the bag, and you showed us how it really looks like pepper grains almost, as opposed to what you offer. And then our more recent conversation about creating a guide for women on the health benefits. I just think that that's incredible. And I think that it's needed, especially in the Black circle for women. There are so many health challenges that we have. And I think that this is a great way for us to promote just nourishing our body every day. We learned about white tea, we learned about green teas, we learned about all these benefits that we can use just a cup, and it tastes good, and this is what it does. So I think that alone is helping us to promote better health. So if you want to expand a little bit, I know you haven't worked or done your book, but I know that you're planning to, and then we can talk to Vanessa. Sorry not to keep leaving
No,
you
but
out there.
actually, that's actually a good segue into Vanessa, because as I said a little bit ago, she actually is my business strategist. And when I was working with Vanessa, she just asked me, just tell me about tea. And as I was elaborating, and she was saying, where do you keep all this knowledge? And I said, well, I have it written down because I'm curating individual flavors and blends and collections. And she said, well, you have a book. And so for the past couple years, I've kind of had that on the back burner as I've been working toward launching the company, then launching the company. But recently I shared with Vanessa an outline of a tea guide for Black women that I'm working on. And really it's kind of to address some of the common ailments that affect Black women and how and what teas they can incorporate as they continue to work for a healthier lifestyle. And so that's what I'm working on, Michelle. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm excited for that to come out. And, like I am making conscious efforts every day to see what benefits are in all of the options that we have. I'm super, super excited that I have a variety of bags. There's so many good ones. So yes, we're going to segue to Vanessa. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I mean, if I can encapsulate for me the weekend in 2 words, for me, pride on a personal level and connection, like new connections. Pride because I'll start with Michelle Watson, because it was, her first year anniversary of the business that I've been at the forefront from the beginning. So it was amazing to see this, for her to be the sponsor for the second year, and just to see how, Ingenuity has evolved. It's absolutely amazing. And I love how everyone here was talking about some people who really didn't drink tea before, and now after this weekend really understood more about tea through her tutorials. So Michelle, congratulations. You are amazing, and I'm just really proud of you, and I'm excited for the growth. And connections with these women, the roundtable was absolutely amazing for me. I was able to be vulnerable in a way that I kind of don't allow myself to be sometimes. And with, 4 women that I didn't even know, right? Michelle, the 2 Michelles I knew, and I've always been vulnerable with, but the other women are really new friends and absolutely amazing. And I'm just really, I don't consider myself an influencer. I don't have tons. I consider myself a whisper influencer, meaning like I'm an influencer on the back end, and always putting other people forward. And, but it was just amazing. And another point about the pride is Michelle, whatever, and I'm not going to cry, but I will never forget, the day when Michelle called me. She was like, I've been passing by this house, and I just feel it's for me. And it wasn't part of your business plan. It wasn't part of your business model at the time, right? You were focused really on helping people move to San Miguel, and saw this house, and you just manifested it. And now it is what it is. And it's absolutely amazing. And just in general, seeing the work that you have done to bring people to San Miguel. And if we're talking about people of color, it's, you're not only working with people, helping people of color, come Black people, come to San Miguel, many people, but to see the community that you've been able to create in San Miguel is amazing. I mean, you are a true, true influencer. You're changing this city. And so I'm just really proud of you. It was an amazing weekend. It's amazing that you're going to do this every year. And yeah, it was just amazing. So for me, it was really about pride and connection. And I thank all these women because I'm excited for us to stay in contact and continue our work together. And you're all amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I truly appreciate that. I have to say that you were the first person I told about this space. Even considering where my personal life was, you were the first person, because I was like, literally, like, I need someone to help me get over the anxiety, the what am I doing, and I can tell you that Vanessa is just so encouraging to talk to. She has a way that really makes you think about what you're doing. And sometimes you may think like, oh, that was a little harsh, but she makes you think, right? Just like she asks the right questions. She really pushes you to what is your offer? What are you trying to say? She wants you to say it out loud so you can hear where this is going, right? And I remember we spoke, I think I just sent you like a video, right? Because I had a video that's like, oh my gosh, I saw this space, what do you think? And, you know, she was the first one that I shared this with because we had talked so much about all the other business things. And, you know, she helped me with my company DNA. And, you know, I had a long list of things, and Jessica is on with us. We were like the three musketeers in this equation of trying to find ourselves in our own businesses and what we were doing. And so I just wanted to say, you know, thank you for being one of many people who followed after you, who put wind beneath my wings. I say that a lot. From my first clients to you ladies, these past, you know, weeks that we've become closer, the weekend that we spent together. But I remember your exact words. You were like, this is the next level of your business. And I remember that made me like, kind of like, what? You know, a little nervous, a little scared, but you really just kind of were like this silent, like you said, you know, the influencer who's whispering in the background. So I have to appreciate that. And the second person was my friend Angelique, who was, you know, she happened to be here this weekend that I was contemplating the space, and she came in and she had so many things to say. And so the two of you really have such a deep rooted part and have rooted me on. So I just want to say thank you for that as well. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and Michelle, if I could piggyback a little bit on what you were just saying about Vanessa, you know, as an entrepreneur, we kind of live with our businesses, no matter whether it's a product or a service. We live with it for years, right? Before we even have the courage to tell someone about it, and we're jotting down ideas on paper. So it always remains two-dimensional for quite a while. And I was that person, and I'm always drinking tea, tasting tea, reading about tea. So I knew tea. And then, you know, I hook up with Vanessa through you, by the way, Michelle Wedderburn, because I saw an interview that you did with Vanessa. And then she started just asking me so many questions. And, you know, I was a little bit offended because I'm like, you know, she knows business, but she doesn't know tea. You know, and who's your ideal customer, and all these things. And she's just pulling back the onion. And she has this, I don't know if you call it a workbook or what have you, but it's called the company DNA. That thing is chef's kiss. Okay, chef's kiss. Every business school, MBA school should be using Vanessa Jacomon's company DNA, because by the time you get through her program and her workbooks with you, what you thought you knew and understood about your company, 180 degrees difference, right? For the better. So that by the time you do launch, again, whether it's a service or a product, oh my goodness, the clarity that you have. And, you know, Tracy says there's power in the pivot. So you even see, once you go through Vanessa's program, you even see when it's time to pivot, right? Before it's too late. Sometimes you pivot when everything's already upside down, but you see before it's too late. So, I mean, I can't sing the praises of Vanessa Jacomon enough.
Yes. I agree. She definitely pulls it out of you. That's how we started. I remember I was hemming and hawing, and she's like, and I was like, oh, you know, because I'm a very do-it-yourselfer in a lot of things, and I've learned in these years, and I've had businesses before, but I've learned in these past years, one, the pivot, but also, you know, to just kind of define things more clearly, to really think through like what are all the things that you could offer. And I remember that was one of her questions, because I was like, oh, I already have a website, I already have this, I have a logo, I have a description, I already know. And she was like, well, what's your offer? And I literally froze. I was like, well, you know. And so the point is that sometimes, yes, it can kind of hurt your feelings because you think you know it all. But at the same time, it was there to help us grow, right? And so I just want to say thank you so much for that. Yes. Anything else you all want to add?
So I do want to add, everybody's saying that they weren't tea drinkers and I was a tea girl. I'm a tea girl. I was a tea girl and I was so excited. I came back like I said I would and threw away all my teas in my cupboards. Right now I'm drinking Rose Bouquet. It is so good. Champagne and berries. I drank all while I was there all weekend. It is so. First of all, I say, okay, I'm a tea girl, but I did not know the history of teas. Like I did not know that herbal teas are not teas, right? Because teas, what, Michelle? Teas?
All true teas only come from the Camellia sinensis plant.
That part.
Period. I did not know. So these are the things that we learned during the weekend. But she knew, talk about like the simpatico of the weekend. She did not know my, health issues or anything, but the package that I received from her in the Essence collection were all green teas, and they were for purifying, your body of what's not supposed to be in there. I don't want to say anything that I wrong, but it's for purifying my and everything that she gave me is for the well-being of my directly good for my the problems that I have with my health system. So she did not know that. How would she know that? She did not know me. It was my first time meeting her. So that's an example of like the divineness of all of us coming together and what it meant and what we're bringing to what we brought to the table and what we're taking forward from, from here on out. So
Yes.
thank you, Michelle,
absolutely.
for your tea.
Yes, thank you, Michelle.
Yes, it was
More
beautiful.
than welcome, ladies. You're more than welcome. And actually thank Michelle Wedderburn because she was saying that she was putting together these gift baskets or gift bags for you. And what did I think I could add to it? So I just started reading up on each of you. And so the collections that I chose for you was just reading up on each of you. So actually thank Michelle Wedderburn. Great idea from her.
Thank you. Thank you as well. I mean, they were very intentional. So it was just a beautiful, I know that you all watching weren't here. We wish that we could, disseminate this in a package of tea to you, the vibe that we had. But it was just a really lovely time. And I'm super grateful for all of it. I'm super grateful to each of you again for spending the time. There's a lot of people asking where they can get the tea. I don't know if you dropped your website yet in the chat. Please do that.
And you're probably going to have to add it to the description as well, Michelle.
Okay, I will. So let's see. I think you typed it in somewhere, right?
Did.
Yes. Well, if you're here in San Miguel, you can get teas from me that, depending on what you like. So for those who have my contact WhatsApp, you can send me a message and I will let you know. But if you're in the United States, you can order them directly from Michelle Watson's website. I was gonna say YouTube channel. Had a brain fart there. So feel free to do that. She has amazing collections that will let you sample a few things, but then there are like the more popular teas. It all depends on, what you're looking for, what your flavor is. I want to say too that the variety of flavors, it's a lot, and they're all incredibly amazing. Like I've tried things I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like this, and I liked it. And it's interesting to see, like I said, Micah trying different, like he loves the spice pear. He really likes the chocolate decadence, which you brought for me. He loves the harvest moon, which is new for us. So all of these like flavors are just so like different, but they're good, they're good. And I don't think you'll go to the store and really find these flavors. I mean, there are some that you'll find, but hers are like, if it's mint fusion. If it's lavender chamomile. It's not just one thing. So check it out. I mean, definitely go on and check it out. So yeah, just thank you all. Anything else before we wrap it up?
I know we talked about my 1 year anniversary, Casa Elm's 2 year anniversary, but I think actually Vanessa Jacquemone is getting ready to relaunch herself, right? Rebrand. Vanessa, come on, tell us about it.
Yes. Putting
I
you
mean,
on the
there's
spot.
not much to tell, but yes, I mean, after many years in business, I'm just relaunching my branding really and showing up in a new way and offering new services to potential clients. And yeah, we always need to pivot, right? And I think as entrepreneurs, you're in business, you're in the grind, you're in the tunnel, as Michelle says, and sometimes, you want to change things up, and that's what I'm doing. So that's going to happen very soon.
I love it.
And I just want to say thank you, Michelle Wedderburn. Thank you for hosting us. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for Casa Elm. Thank you for what you do in San Miguel. And yeah, just wanted to say that.
Absolutely. We're all spreading our wings. We're growing. Tracy has a channel. What is it? Tracy Collins? Okay. Tracy has her channel, Angel Vilas. You can find her, Angel Awakened, on Instagram. I'm not sure what else. I know you said you tried something and weren't feeling it. I don't know if you have something to add to that, but just kind of want to make sure that each of you are tapped in. If you're online, you're doing the social media thing, to support each of these ladies and their endeavors. It's a lot for us to get on here and just talk to a camera and, just keep giving whatever it is that we're sharing, our talent, our love for something, our passion for something. We're doing it because this is just, it means something to us, and we appreciate everyone who tunes in, everyone that we meet in person, finally, one of these days, that says thank you. It's just kind of interesting when you meet people and they're like, oh, I've been watching your channel, I've seen you, and it's just so special to see that, because there are lots of choices and options out there. So I just want to say, thank you to the audience and all the subscribers, and for you all to continue to support everyone that's on here. I know there are several people in our group on this chat, our Exodus Life, and I feel like I'm getting the mix up with our Family Exodus. I don't know which is which. Maybe
That's
Tracy.
Alum and then Danielle.
Okay, yes.
Alum, our Exodus Live, Danielle is our family. I did the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so, you all get on and find them. They also live in San Miguel, and, they have a channel and they're talking about their experiences here. And I think that it's important for everyone to see a variety of us out there, because I can tell you 7 years ago, couldn't find it.
People
And
are shook here in San
yeah.
Miguel that there's so many of us now.
Yes, yeah. And so the whole thing behind it is basically that, we all have different perspectives, and it's nice if you fit into a certain perspective, or that's what you're looking for, that it's there, right? So you can see it, whether it's a family, a couple, single people, whatever it is. We're growing a lot. So I'm just super grateful to be a part of these journeys that are happening around us. And in saying all of that, we can wrap it up. I want to just read this. The circles of women around us weave invisible nets of love that carry us when we're weak and sing with us when we're strong. So I thank all of you for being a part of the Casa Elm Influencer Weekend and coming on tonight, and also for spreading all the joy for Michelle Watson's tea brand, and all the love and that and care that was put into that. And in addition to that, all the love that was put into the weekend and Casa Elm, and your appreciation of the space. I really, truly appreciate all of you for coming out and supporting it. And thank you to the audience for watching and tapping in. If you didn't hit the like button, please do that. Yes. I look forward to us continuing these relationships. And that's it. Does anyone else have anything else to add?
Good night, ladies. Yay, it was so good seeing you
Ladies.
again. And I cannot
Likewise.
wait for
Oh, next month.
March.
Yes, yes. So we will be having our accountability meetup. I'm excited for that. So thank you all so much. Hang
Thanks,
tight for a
Michelle.
few
Thanks,
seconds.
Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.
Hang tight for a moment. Okay. All right. It has